Hey everybody, we're back. In this video, we're going to talk about agency relationship disclosure and a sales contract. Some of these might apply specifically to Maryland, but I don't think so. If they are, I'll let you know. There's only 4 questions. We're going to try and get through all 3 lessons and the exam in under 30 minutes. Okay, you've been waiting. You got your first sales contract after you passed your tests. So what should you present and explain the agency disclosure notice? This is prior to the initial interview. You need to deliver this information in person to the customer prior to entering into any agency agreement. So it's probably at the initial interview. Correct. Consent for dual agency. We did like a whole video, almost 40 minutes or something, on dual agency. I think we did more than one video on this. So go back and look at those videos if you need this explained to you. And it's the same in every state. Dual agency is the same in every state. It's very confusing. It can be confusing. So hopefully those videos will help you if those are the questions that you need help with. What is the purpose of the consent for dual agency form? This is what it looks like in Maryland now. Your state probably has something very similar. It is to obtain the client's initial consent for the broker to represent them as a dual agent, to obtain the client's acknowledgement that the licensee is representing other clients while under contract with them. Okay, I think it's the top one. That's correct. Okay, Kira's buyer agency agreement discussion. Okay, so as part of the buyer representative agreement discussion with her clients, Kira explains about her role as an agent. And you read each statement about the roles and responsibilities in the buyer representative agreement and determine if it's true or false. Kira explains she will be representing Donnie and Linda as their intercompany agent. Okay, I think that's correct. Kira explained that because she would be obligated to work solely for Donnie and Linda, that she would not be able to cooperate with the seller and seller's agent. False. If you're trying to get something sold, you need to cooperate. Okay, as Donnie and Linda's agent, Kiara's role would be to negotiate on their behalf, probably. Because Donnie and Linda gave their verbal consent to have Kira representative, only Kira had to sign the buyer representative agreement. No, I don't think that's correct. I think they got to sign it too. As Donnie and Linda's agent, Kira would owe them undivided loyalty. All right, let's see how we did. The first one is wrong. Okay, that one I wasn't sure about. So she is going to be representing them as a single agent, not an intra. So there's only one true, and that's to negotiate on their behalf. In this thing. Okay, I think. Okay, false. She would be a single agent. You need to be able to cooperate. They would negotiate. This one I think was false. We still got something wrong. What do we get wrong now? No, that's false. You have to cooperate. Why did I put true on that? I have no idea. All right, false, false, true. Let's try it again. False, false, true. Okay. Only Kira, false, undivided loyalty. Oh my goodness, we finally got it right. Okay. Always need to cooperate with the sellers. Okay, keeping requirements, record keeping requirements. In Maryland, you have to do 5 years, so you'll need to find out what it is in your state. It might not be as long in other states. I don't know. I know for Maryland it's 5 years. So this could be a state question, and you'll probably need to know it specifically for your state. The sales contract in Maryland. What is the sales contract? All right, let's look at it and see. Does it tell you? No, it has a little story here, which I don't feel like reading because we're on a time crunch. All right, the residential contract, we prepare our offers to sell. The seller's acknowledgement that they are ready to sell. The buyer's documented offer to the seller to purchase their home. The buyer's agreement to enter into a relationship with their client with the goal of purchasing a specific property. I think it's all of them. Let's check. No, it's only one. All right, that's the one I had originally. Okay. Review each of the names and see if the name is another name for the sales contract or not. This is definitely no. This could be yes. Maybe. I don't know. Yes. Yes. All right, let's see how we did. All right, we got one wrong. Earnest money agreement, really? Is another name for a sales contract? Okay. All right, well, that's something they would learn. All right, earnest money agreement. Huh. All right. All of those are names for sales contracts if they say it. Yes, it's legally binding. All right. Sales contract in Maryland recap. We're going through these videos a lot faster than we did when we first started because they are not my biggest viewers on these. But if somebody needs assistance, they can still check them out. All right, you received an offer and you're ready to present it. The Sampsons, what can they decide to do with the offer? They can accept it, counter it, reject it, ignore it. All of these. They can do all these things. All right, earnest money account. Is this a valid reason to counter? No. Closing date? Maybe. Inspection period? Length? Not really. Well, I guess I'm wrong. Earnest money account, they can do it. All these things they can. Okay. All right. Okay, let's take a look at do's and don'ts. With your buyer's input. Sales contract in Maryland. Okay. With your buyer's input, fill in all the blanks, the specified transaction, and all the necessary. Check all the necessary blanks. All right, with the buyer's input, fill in all the blanks. If you're going through the sales contract, the buyer asks you to scratch through and revise some of the wording. You can't really do that. You confirm with the client about the agreement should be formed and the appropriate price to offer. Yes. You need to agree to add an addendum. You write up the addendum using standard language and have your broker review it. That's a good idea, so you don't get sued or anything. You tell your client how much earnest money they should put down to ensure the offer is accepted. Okay, you should not do that apparently. Okay. Yes. You fill in the necessary. The buyer asks you to know. We confirm with the appropriate price, addendum, and you should not tell them how much earnest money to put down. Okay. You cover all the options for terms and contingency with your client as you complete the form. You cover the options for terms and contingencies. As your representative, you feel it's appropriate to give her your advice. No, you don't give advice on legal stuff. You can do that, I guess. Okay, this is a good idea. Get the attorney to review it before they sign it. They can do that for sure. You describe the provisions of the sales contract. Okay. All right, look at that. I think this might be the quickest one we got yet. All right, it's only 4 questions, so we're probably going to have to get every single one right to pass. Okay, which of the following statements is true about the sales contract that has been signed and both parties have been notified of the acceptance? It is legally binding. What happens to an initial offer from the buyer after a seller counters? What happens to an initial offer from a buyer? It becomes a backup offer. No, it's no longer in play. Okay, what happens to the initial offer from a buyer after the seller counters? It's accepted by the seller. No, it's accepted by no. It's not accepted. Cannot. Okay, I'm guessing that's right. Okay, Lapis is training her new unlicensed assistant as they come to the subject of record keeping. So she needs to keep everything on file for 5 years. Reggie has thoroughly reviewed the sales contract and he's confirmed all the terms and provisions. What should Reggie do next? Make a copy and send it to the seller's agent. Ask the Arnolds if he can provide them with legal advice about the contract. Ask the Arnolds to complete a survey. Recommend the Arnolds review the sales contract. All right. Let's see how we did. Okay, I got one wrong. It's probably the last one. Yep. Recommend they get an attorney to sign. I've never had anybody ever do that to me in my 5 houses that I've bought. Ever anybody say go to an attorney before you sign it. But, you know, if you're really scared and nervous about getting into a contract with a home, I mean, the broker's going to cover you. I mean, they're not going to lose their license by somebody making mistakes. If you need to take a screenshot, now would be the time. All right, this one. I really wish they would quit putting Maryland on everything because it's not necessarily Maryland. But that's the way it goes here. All right, so if you are interested, we've already covered a lot of this already in another video, and it was all states. So this might be specific to Maryland, by the way, but we've already talked about this on another video, so you may not be interested in watching this again. But if you need to keep going through it to reinforce it, then I don't know how much different it's going to be from federal. It's probably going to be a lot of the same. I don't think it's going to be too different. So anyway, this is coming up on the next video. Moving right along. Thank you all for watching.